Hello, my name is Kenesha Johnson. I'm a senior at Bellarmine University, and welcome to my channel. Actually, welcome to my story. When I started Bellarmine in 2014, of my freshman year, I experienced something I never thought I would have to experience. Something that never crossed my mind happened to me. A night I'll never forget, a night that uncovered feelings that I never thought I would have to feel after listening to my parents talk about the times and experiences that they have, but it happened to me. At Late Night Breakfast in 2014, the Black Student Union put on a demonstration, and during that time, people were very disrespectful and very, it was really sad to see. I'll never forget watching people just look at me and just keep walking like it was nothing to them and like it didn't mean the same thing that it meant to me. But after that, the worst part of all, that night, at the time there was an app called Yik Yak, and at the time there were people who used it all the time on campus, not just our campus, but it was campus wide. And I remember sitting in my hall that night and reading the comments that people said. Oh, you guys are monkeys anyway, get out of here, why would you disrupt something like that? And the worst thing of all I remember and will never forget is someone telling me to go back to Africa, or someone telling me that McGowan is holding a slave auction for us. A slave auction? I mean, is this the environment you want me to be in? It made me so afraid because from that moment on, I feared being friends with anyone because it took one thing, one time for me to take that step and demonstrate how I was feeling about a certain situation, to uncover those feelings about how you really feel about me and people, my people, not even just people of color, but my people. That will never leave my mind. And from that moment on, I've been interested in the racism that's happening at our campus. And it's very evident, and people have a story to tell.
Like, I can only do so much as an individual person, but for the racist person who walks around talking about you act like you just got off a boat, or you're acting like a slave, or this and that, that's the person who needs to pick up the book, but they're not going to pick up the book.
They ain't gonna read it.
They're not going to, and if they pick up the book, they're not going to read it. If anything, they're going to throw it in my face and tell me to go back to Africa. Like, it's stuff like that. That's what it is. Like,
me personally, I know Bellarmine University has a problem with racism as any other college does.
where I've been called a slave, and they thought that was cool.
And my feelings are hurt, I feel disrespected, and all in all I'm confused because I've went to predominantly white schools, but I've never been called a nigger.
And people question, how could the white boys hang with the black boys?
And I'm more than just my skin color.
It's not okay to have to leave because we're uncomfortable being somewhere that we should feel comfortable in, a space that we should feel comfortable in. Why should we have to leave?
I'm already outnumbered.
I didn't feel like I belonged on this campus until spring or sophomore year.
Because the way that I've felt walking around this campus for the past 4 years has not been that great. I did some research about the retention percentages here. We have a retention rate of 78.8%, being the average of the past 4 years. In fall 2016, the retention rate was 68.9%. The retention rate was 12.6% below the average. What happened? Why did they leave?
Bellarmine University talks about BU at BU, but it's impossible to be you. When you're from a black city and you come here, there's no black people, there's no black things to do.
You just trying to survive and get through. Yeah, I have to remind myself that I'm here for the education. I'm not really here for the social life, as limited as it is.
No, I just feel like we need something that's gonna bring black students here too and make them want to stay.
Like, but that doesn't mean like just because I'm unhappy here and I want to make a difference here that I need to leave and I should just go up and swag surf at a HBCU. Like, that's not gonna fix my problems. For me personally, I'm here so I can help make a difference so that somebody else can feel comfortable.
I really feel like the students who are here really do try to bring light to it, but do bring light to it. Our faculty and staff members aren't really supportive.
A lot of people on campus think that it's not an issue, but it's something that isn't a problem just with the students, but with the faculty as well, and just administration. And the issue is that like nobody wants to really like make a difference about it, except for like 10 people, and that's not gonna do anything.
That's a problem at the school with like feeling lonely in classes.
Hearing the stories that happen to other people, it makes me nervous because if I'm around like, you know, some of my friends, I think that we kind of have this understanding of, yo, it's not cool to say certain things, and then they say it, and it's just like, been friends this whole time with somebody who has this whole different opinion on things like, you know, politics or race or what's okay to say and what's not. So.
Like we go through stuff all the time, but like you just don't hear about it.
Now is the time you get to hear about it. Now is the time you have a chance to explore those stories and exactly what's going on. Too often we don't hear about it. Too often we sit around and talk about it. The time for talking is out. Be a part of the change. Be conscious of what you're saying. Ask, learn. We all can do it together if everyone does it, not just the 2 to 10 people that we have on average that attend certain events or CBAs or things like that. We have to want to change. We have to do more than talk. Be a part of the change and ask me about my story.